Hi, so you should have watched at least one of the videos on the Explore page before getting to this page. This is going to be kind of like an overview of the Tang and Song Chinese dynasties. And so the Tang and Song Chinese dynasties are really these dynasties that exist between the years about 600 CE to about 1400 CE. And so these two dynasties are really going to be characterized by a lot of technological developments and also the proliferation or the spread of trade. And particularly characteristic of most Chinese dynasties is going to be this central role of bureaucracy and of the government. And so this is going to be a continuity or a continuation throughout most Chinese civilization. And so the Tang and Song dynasty are going to use this thing called the civil service exam to hire people for their government. And so, what this is going to do is it's going to require people to take a test to see who is the best qualified for working on certain projects in their government. This is going to allow for some social mobility within China. However, the common people are still pretty much going to stay at the bottom. The Chinese government is also going to facilitate trade by expanding things like canals and roads and creating paper money and using coins. And so they're one of the first to kind of create this sustainable economic system that's based on trading money instead of just goods. Um, the Chinese are going to be experts at creating things that are going to be in high demand across the world. So, of course, silk is one. They're the first ones to come up with gunpowder, and at first they used them for fireworks rather than for weapons. Paper is going to be something that is first used in China, tea, and also the magnetic compass, which is going to help them to begin exploring over the world, and later it gets transferred over to Europe. Um, at this time, because China is engaging in a lot of trade, they are also going to experience cultural diffusion in the form of Buddhism coming in and influencing their society. And so these Buddhist merchants are going to bring Buddhism over to China, and it's going to kind of become intermingled into their main and their traditional religion or philosophy of Confucianism. So just to remind you, Confucianism is really going to help China to maintain this very kind of strict social hierarchy and very well organized society because people are very dedicated to fulfilling their specific roles in society. Other things that are going to be important in China. I know you may not be able to see it down here, but it's going to be trade is going to increase as their population increases. So the Chinese are also going to develop new farming techniques and use this new type of rice called champa rice that will help their population to grow. And so these are just some of the goods that you might have encountered or you might have seen on your travel journal or on your travel journey. Porcelain. So the Europeans are really going to value porcelain. Silk is a luxury item, and gunpowder as well. So other achievements from these two Chinese dynasties, the Tang and the Song, one is going to be this Grand Canal, which is this huge government project that is a canal, so that's a man-made ditch or river that's going to go all the way from Shanghai to the coast. It's going to be like 30,000 miles long. And so this is just an example of how well this government is going to work. Along this canal, this is going to facilitate trade, of course. So if you remember back to our characteristics of empires, something that's going to help an empire to keep control is this facilitation or this help of trade. And then next over here, right here, champa rice. And so just like with the Neolithic Revolution, this new use of champa rice, the Chinese are going to borrow this from the people of like around Vietnam. This is going to help their population to grow. And so as the population grows, there's going to be more specialization of labor and also kind of this growth of trade. And so China, for a good portion of world history, and we'll find this out as we study more and more, is actually going to be the leader in technology, the leader in trade, the leader in government organization. And so for me, I think that's a really interesting thing to think about whenever we talk about China today and possibly their role in the world. And so I hope you guys can kind of make some connection about that whenever you hear about China in the news or you learn something new about Chinese developments. There's some historical continuities there. So this should help you with your quiz, and also kind of serve as a shorter recap than those videos in Blend.